what I did here is I went and I did the composition exercise. And let me just double check. Yeah, this took a while to compose here, but it takes that idea, right? It takes that idea of layering. So we start off with the melody, and then we have this ostinato here that continues. It's really just highlighting chord tones, but occasionally it goes outside of the key, right? And then we have the bass line, which is switching. And then I noticed John Williams, he started out, really he was only having one part play at a time. So he would have a pedal tone, and then he might switch into like a rhythmic idea, right? And then he'll switch back to a pedal tone, but then eventually he'll combine the two, right? So before it's like we're alternating between the pedal tone and the rhythmic figure. But then as the piece or as the phrase progresses, we just combine the two together to build. So we have two things going on at once. It feels like the piece is building, right? And I noticed that's something he would do. So that's kind of what I did. And you really only notice these things when you're transcribing the score, like the actual score, and that's why I guess it's recommended that you do that. That's what we're doing. So then I maintain the pedal tone until we reach the dominant chord, and I just play the E flat in the bass. We rise up, I believe, to the fifth. Yes, the B flat. The fifth of the E flat chord, not the fifth of the scale. So we're in F sharp minor, or G sharp. Yeah, G sharp minor. I'm sorry. And the reason I chose G sharp is just because I'm trying to get better with some of the harder, like the generally harder scales. I'm trying to get better at with those. But with the melody, I took a lot of inspiration with how he constructed it. And then I went for more of a magical type sound, because I know the last score that I did, it didn't sound very magical. But that was intentional. It wasn't meant to sound magical, right? As long as it's intentional, it's okay. But I intended for this one to sound really, I wasn't thinking magical. I was thinking more like just using the Hungarian minor scale. But let's take a listen here so you can hear what it sounds like. Right, so it's kind of hard because it's hard to hear the melody because it's just all piano. There's no difference in timbre, so it's hard to hear sometimes. But that's basically it. Now I can just play the melody so you can hear it. So basically what he does is he has two statements. He has this first statement here, and then he has a second statement, right? So then he'll repeat it with the next couple of bars. So notice how this same rhythm in the first measure, that's the first statement. I repeat it, but then I kind of transition more into the second statement, just kind of repeating that idea. So you just pick one. So what he does, he has two statements, and obviously they have to be well constructed with motifs, okay? So you have to figure out, okay, what's the motif I'm going to use for this phrase, which is the first two bars, and we have a pickup as well, just to make it more musical. But what am I going to do for these first two bars, and then what am I going to do for the next two bars? And he chose 16th notes. I stole that idea because didn't know what else to do, so I put 16th notes in. It sounded pretty good. And so in the next phrase, it's probably a good idea to start out with the motif you used at the beginning, but then branch out and do something different, so that way it sounds, kind of familiar, but you're switching it up. So we go into the next motif, but we switch keys. So he chose to modulate up a third, and I just stole that idea. So we go from G sharp minor, we go to B minor, and I'm familiar with these scales. I've practiced them. Actually, I practiced A flat, but I didn't really practice G sharp too much. I practiced F sharp. Anyways, and I also have to do the minor scales. All right. Anyways, he modulates up a third. I chose B minor. Okay, and then notice we took the same motif from. This is the second statement right here. The second statement, and we basically took this motif. You could say it like this, da 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 da, and those pitches were probably off. But he took that and I just made it different, made it sound musical, and we just continue that to the end. And the ending, we end back in the home key of G sharp minor, right? Or wait, I thought, wait, what did I do here? Oh yeah, we do. So this is on the dominant, right? The E flat, or you could say D sharp. We land on the dominant chord. So that's what I was thinking there, to make it sound like a half cadence, right? So we have a half cadence at the end. So, and it might look confusing, but really what he's doing is he's just writing individual lines. You could call it layering. And then he just does layering. It's not as complicated as it looks. So I would really recommend score transcription. I'm not going to orchestrate this I could, though. I'm probably not. I'm not orchestrating it tonight. Okay, we're just adding chords just to add layering. And I'm adding that in bar 5, not earlier on, because we want to build. So yeah, it was just another technique I noticed he used. Because that's the goal, right? We're not trying to just write sketches. We're trying to actually, like, write orchestral music. Hold on. Like, the goal is to write orchestral music. I'm not orchestrating it tonight. There we go. So that was pretty good for, for an exercise, right? That's pretty good. And I think learning the techniques, right, through transcription, and I think this is a more foolproof method because